Mr. Michael A. Kearns. This topic is going to be on Christmas and the Christmas tree. Now, everybody, well, almost all Christians have a Christmas tree in their living room during the time of Christmas. Did you know that you are not supposed to have one? It is written in the Bible, in Jeremiah 10. It literally states, "Do not learn the ways of the other nations, for they take a tree out of the forest. They cut it down. A craftsman fashions it so it will not teeter, and they adorn it with silver and gold." Okay? Now let's go through that. It says, "Do not learn the ways of the other nations." This means in whole or in part. Do not do it. Number 2, they take a tree out of the forest. What tree do you take out of the forest? Okay, you may say, well, they plant trees here, they plant trees there, but this one here is specific. They cut it down and they take it out of the forest. A craftsman fashions it so it will not teeter. There's only one tree which you do like that, and that is a Christmas tree. And it says that they adorn it with silver and gold. This here is making a direct reference towards ornaments. Okay, do not do it. Okay, you may say, well, how is this sinful? Well, if you actually look, during the early biblical times, when Israel was destroyed, one of the reasons why they were destroyed was they turned away from God over to false gods. One of the traditions was, I guess, what you would call tree worshiping, and this would have to do with Christmas. Okay, now the way how it would be done is, in order to have a blessing, to spread it out to whoever you were going to give it to, you would take your gifts. You would place it underneath the deity which you were going to do, whether it be Nefertiti or Ishtar or Baal or Zeus or Thor. It didn't matter. Okay? Whichever one you were going to place it underneath, you would place it underneath to get the blessing of the gods before you gave it out. Okay? During a Christmas tree, what do? You take all your gifts, you place it underneath the tree before giving it out to everybody. This is a direct tradition of getting the blessing of the gods and then handing it out. Well, you may say, well, I don't stand there and worship gods. Well, this here may be very, very true. But you still have to remember the fact it opens up with, do not learn the ways of the other nations, which means in whole or in part. This includes Christmas. Okay, you may say, well, okay, well, what if I got rid of the tree? Well, if you go back through the Bible, once again, the Bible says, do not worship other gods and say that you are doing it for me. Thor, Zeus, Baal, all of these false gods were born on guess what day? December 25th. Tammuz was born on December 25th. Okay? So therefore, if there was any day which God was not born, Yeshua, Jesus, was not born, it would be December 25th. Okay? So do not worship him on that day, saying that it's his birthday, because it is not. Okay? Next. You may go, well, what if I don't say it's that? Well, let's look at fact number 3. Okay? Fact number 3. Bible says 7 times, do not add or subtract from the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible does it say to celebrate Christmas. The book of Matthew talks about the birth of Jesus Yeshua. Nowhere does it say to celebrate Christmas. In fact, it doesn't state it anywhere in the Bible. So therefore, that would be in addition to it. Not only do you do that, but A mass is added to it. A dinner is added to it. So a feast is added to it. All of the things which are told not to. But you may say, well, this is really to honor the little baby Jesus or Yeshua. Then if it truly is to honor little baby Jesus or Yeshua, why is he replaced with a fat man in a red suit? Are you really honoring him? The Bible says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Yet we talk about Santa Claus and the elves and the reindeer going on the roof and Santa putting on his dust and going down the chimney to give gifts. And you may say, well, this here's for the children. The Bible also says, woe to you who lead the children astray. So please, before you do it, you might want to think about it. Now, the only thing where there is no sin in is giving gifts. You can give gifts. In fact, the Bible says, even a sinful man, a father, if his child asks him for food, he will not give him a rock. How much more will the Father give those who love him? So there is no sin in giving. In fact, we are mandated to give. If you look at Matthew chapter 25, it says that we will be divided up by the lambs and the goats. He will say to the lambs, come and enter into the kingdom of heaven. For when I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was hungry, you gave me food. For when I was naked, you clothed me. When I was a stranger, you brought me into your house. When I was in prison, you visited me in prison. And then everybody will turn to Yeshua, and they will say, when? When did we feed you or clothe you or give you drink or visit you in prison or brought you into our house? And Jesus Yeshua will reply to them, surely I say unto you, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, that's what you do to me. You may ask yourself, what is the least of my brothers? Any human being alive is your brother. The ones who follow the way of God, they're the highest in the kingdom. The ones who do not follow God are the least. So whatever you do to the least, my brothers, that's what you do to me. And then he will turn over to the goats and he will say, depart from me and go to hell. For a place has been set aside for you. And he will say, for when I was hungry, you did not feed me. When I was thirsty, you did not give me drink. When I was a stranger, you did not bring me in the house. When I was naked, you did not clothe me. When I was in prison, you never visited me. And they will turn to him, Lord, when were you hungry or thirsty or naked or a stranger or in jail? And yet Jesus Yeshua will reply, surely I say unto you, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, you do unto me. So that one part of Christmas is correct. You are to give, but you are not to do it out of greed. You are not to do it to where it causes disdainment or lack of respect, or to where they want more and more and more and more. We are to teach them to give. We are to teach them to love, to help, to respect. We are to teach them the ways of God. We still have time to change. This country hasn't been destroyed yet. We are on the precipice, on the edge of the times of woe, or the time of sorrows. We don't have to enter into it. This can be changed. This can be changed now. But it has to start with you.